Good morning, and welcome to the presentation for this year's Young Hoosier Book Award nominees for the intermediate grades 4 and 5 for the 2016-2017 school year. What's the purpose of the Young Hoosier Book Award? Well, the Young Hoosier Book Award program is designed to encourage Indiana students to include more current literature as part of their recreational reading. Last year, more than 70,000 students participated and selected Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's library as their top choice. So, how are the books chosen for this? Students, teachers, and media specialists from around the state nominate books they have read. The author must be an American who is still alive, and the book should have been published within the past 5 years. A committee reads all of the nominated books and votes for the 20 that they believe should be on the list. So, what special things do we do here at Fox Hill to celebrate your reading? Every month we have a literary lunch for those who have read a book. We have a voting party for people who have read 5 of the books, and at the end of the year, for students who have met their goal, we celebrate with a fiesta. And what books are nominated for the 2016-2017 school year? Absolutely Almost by Lisa Graff. Albie has never been the smartest kid in his class. He's never been the tallest, or the best at gym, or the greatest artist, or the most musical. In fact, Albie has a long list of the things he's not very good at. But then, Albie gets a new babysitter, Callista, who helps him figure out all the things he is good at and how he can take pride in himself. Arkadys Goal by Eugene Yelchin. For 12-year-old Arkady, soccer is more than just a game. Sent to live in a children's home after his parents are declared enemies of the state, it is a means of survival, securing extra rations, respect, protection. Ultimately, it proves to be his chance to leave. But in Soviet Russia, second chances are few and far between. Will Arkady seize his opportunity and achieve his goal, or will he miss his shot? The Big Bad Detective Agency by Bruce Hale. The houses of all 3 not-so-little pigs were broken into and ransacked, and the pigs are squealing for justice. So Prince Tyrone, ruler of Fairylandia, drags in the obvious suspect, Wolfgang. The lone wolf has big teeth, sharp claws, and no alibi, and a single day to find the real culprit and clear his big bad name. When Wolf reluctantly teams up with the 4th little pig to crack the case, the Big Bad Detective Agency, and an adventure way funnier than your average fairy tale, is off to a howling start. Death by Toilet Paper. Benjamin is about to lose a whole lot more than some good toilet paper. But even with his flair for clever slogans, will he be able to win a cash prize large enough to keep a promise that he made to his dad just before he died? Freshman wide receiver Jesse realizes that although their team quarterback looks the part, his throws are wild. Jesse knows the plays, but he feels he is too small to play quarterback. Jesse's brother Jay has a problem of his own. His coach wants him to switch from quarterback to safety. The brothers agree on a deal. Jesse will try out for quarterback, and Jay will try playing safety. Meanwhile, Jesse and his teammates recruit an unlikely kicker for their team, a girl named Savannah. Can Jesse, Jay, and Savannah overcome others' expectations and succeed in playing against type? LDefo by C.C. Bell. Starting at a new school is scary, even more so with a giant hearing aid strapped to your chest. At her old school, everyone in Cece's class was deaf, but here she is different. She is sure the kids are staring at the phonic ear, the powerful aid that will help her hear her teacher. Too bad it also seems certain to repel potential friends. And then Cece makes a startling discovery. With the phonic ear, she can hear her teacher, not just in the classroom, but anywhere her teacher is in the school. In the hallway, in the teacher's lounge, in the bathroom. This is powerful, maybe even super powerful. Cece is on her way to becoming LDefo, listener for all. But the funny thing about being a superhero is that it's just another way of feeling different and lonely. Can Cece channel her powers into finding the things that she wants most? A true friend? The 14th Goldfish by Jennifer L. Holm. Galileo, Newton, Salk, Oppenheimer. Science can change the world, but can it go too far? 11-year-old Ellie has never liked change. She misses 5th grade. She misses her old best friend. She even misses her dearly departed goldfish. Then one day, a strange boy shows up. He's bossy. He's cranky. And weirdly enough, he looks a lot like Ellie's grandfather, a scientist who always has been slightly obsessed with immortality. Could this pimply boy really be Grandpa Melvin? Has he finally found the secret to eternal youth? Handle with Care, An Unusual Butterfly Journey by Lori Griffin Burns. Some farms grow vegetables or grains, and some raise cows, sheep, chickens, or pigs. But have you ever heard of a butterfly farm? How do you raise a butterfly? "12-year-old Jocelyn dreams of becoming every bit as daring as her infamous father, Captain James Hook. Her grandfather, on the other hand, intends to see her starched and pressed into a fine society lady. When she is sent to Miss Eliza Crumb-Biddlecomb's finishing school for young ladies, Jocelyn's hope of following in her father's fearsome footsteps are lost in a heap of dance lessons, white gloves, and way too much pink. So, when Jocelyn receives a letter from her father challenging her to revenge his untimely demise at the jaws of the Neverland crocodile, she doesn't hesitate. Here at last is the adventure she has been waiting for. But Jocelyn finds that being a pirate is a bit more difficult than she's bargained for. As if attempting to defeat Neverland's most fearsome beast isn't enough to deal with, she is tasked with captaining a crew of woefully untrained pirates, outwitting cannibals wild for some English cuisine, and rescuing her best friend from a certain pack of lost children, not to mention that pesky Peter Pan who keeps barging in uninvited. Lives of the Explorers, Discoveries, Disasters, and What the Neighbors Thought by Kathleen Kroll. You might know that Columbus discovered America. Lewis and Clark headed west with Sacagawea, and Sally Ride blasted into space. But what do you really know about these bold explorers? What were they like as kids? What pets or bad habits did they have? And what drove their passion to explore unknown parts of the world? With juicy tidbits about everything from favorite foods to first loves, Lives of the Explorers reveals these fascinating adventurers as both world changers and real people. Mr. Ferris and His Wheel by Katherine Gibbs Davis. Capturing an engineer's creative vision and mind for detail, this fully illustrated picture book biography sheds light on how the American inventor, George Ferris, defied gravity and seemingly impossible odds to invent the world's most iconic amusement park attraction, the Ferris wheel. This is a fun, fact-filled text that combines with dazzling full-colored illustrations to transport you back to the 1833 World Fair, where George Ferris and his big, wonderful wheel lifted passengers to the sky for the first time. Rain, Rain by Anne Martin. Rose Howard has Asperger's syndrome and an obsession with homophones. Even her name is a homophone. She gives her dog Rain a name with 2 homophones, Rain, Rain, which according to Rose's rules of homophones is very special. Rain was a lost dog Rose's father brought home. Rose and Rain are practically inseparable, and they often are home alone, as Rose's father spends most evenings at a bar and doesn't have much patience for his special needs daughter. Just as a storm hits town, Rain goes missing. Rose's father shouldn't have let Rain out, and now Rose has to find her dog, even if it means leaving her routines and safe places to search. Rose will find Rain, but so will Rain's original owners. The Right Word. Roget and His Thesaurus by Jennifer Fisher Bryant and Melissa Sweet. For shy young Peter Mark Roget, books were the best companions, and it wasn't long before Peter began writing his own book. But he didn't write stories. He wrote lists. Peter took his love for words and turned it into organizing ideas and finding exactly the right word to express just what he thought. His list grew and grew, eventually turning into one of the most important reference books of all times. The illustrations in this book takes it far beyond words into a real visual treat. The Rookie Bookie by L. John Wertheim and Tobias J. Moskowitz. New kid Mitch Sloan wants to fit in, but his nerdy love of statistics and making money isn't winning him any friends in his sports-loving town. Until he finds the way to get perfect instant popularity. But running a football betting ring at school eventually turns sour, and Mitch loses the only real friend he's made. He'll have to win her back by using his brain power for good and helping the school football team achieve victory, if they'll listen to the advice of a former bookie. Running Out of Night by Sharon Lovejoy. If you liked Elijah Buxton, Trouble Don't Last, Stealing Freedom, you'll be drawn to this tale of the incredible journey of an abused 12-year-old white girl and an escaped slave runaway who run away together and form a bond of friendship while seeking freedom. Every day is a misery for nameless, motherless Southern girl who is treated cruelly by her pa and brothers. Her life changes forever when a runaway slave named Zenobia turns to her for help and shelter. Longing for her own freedom, the girl decides to run away, and she and Zenobia set off on a harrowing journey. Along the way, Zenobia names the girl Lark after the bird for her ability to mimic its song. Running by day and hiding by night, the girls are pursued by Lark's pa and brothers and by ruthless slave catchers. Brightwell, another runaway slave, joins them, and the 3 follow secret signs to stop on the Underground Railroad. When the hideout is raided and Zenobia and Brightwell are captured, Lark sets out alone to rescue her friends. Sarafinas Promised by Anne E. Berg. Sarafina has a secret dream. She wants to go to school and become a doctor with her best friend, Julie Marie. But in their rural village outside of Port-au-Prince, Haiti, many obstacles stand in Sarafina's way. Little money, never-ending chores, and man's worries. More powerful even than all of these are the heavy rains and the shaking earth that test Sarafina's resolve in ways that she's never dreamed. At once heartbreaking and hopeful, this exquisitely crafted story will leave a lasting impression on your heart. Sisters, the second in the Smile series by Raina Telgemeier. 3 weeks, 2 sisters, 1 car, a true story. Raina can't wait to be a big sister, but once Amara is born, things aren't quite how she expected them to be. Amara is cute, but she's also a cranky, grouchy baby and mostly prefers to play by herself. Their relationship doesn't improve much over the years, but when a baby brother enters the picture, and later, when something doesn't seem quite right between their parents, they all realize they must figure out how to get along. They are sisters, after all. With Books and Bricks, How Booker T. Washington Built a School by Suzanne Buckingham Slade. Booker T. Washington had an incredible passion for learning. Born a slave, he taught himself how to read. When the Civil War ended, Booker finally fulfilled his dream of attending school. After graduation, he was invited to teach in Tuskegee, Alabama. Finding many eager students, but no school, Booker set out to build his own school, brick by brick. Words with Wings by Nikki Grimes. Gabby's world is filled with daydreams. However, what began as an escape from her parents' arguments has now taken over her life. But with the help of a new teacher, Gabby the dreamer might just become Gabby the writer, and the words that carried her away might allow her to soar. This remarkable novel, a novel that's written in poetry form, is a celebration of imagination, of friendship, of one girl's indomitable spirit, and of a teacher's ability to reach out and change a life. The Zoo at the Edge of the World by Eric Kahn Gale. Marlin is not slow or mute. What he is a stutterer, and that makes it impossible for him to convince people otherwise. What he is also is a Rackham, the youngest son of the world-famous explorer, Roland Rackham, who is the owner and proprietor of the Zoo at the Edge of the World, a resort where the well-to-do from all over the world can come to experience the last bit of wild left in the world at the end of the 19th century. In order to impress a powerful duke who comes to visit the zoo, Marlin's father ventures into the jungle and brings back a mysterious black jaguar, now the only one in captivity. Everyone is terrified of the jaguar, including Marlin, until one night when the jaguar confers upon him a powerful gift, and soon Marlin finds himself with a difficult choice to make, and finally something to say, if only he can figure out how to say it. So those are the 20 books nominated for this year. Where will you be able to find these books? We have several copies of each of these books available at the Fox Hill Media Center. All of these books are also available at any branch of the Indianapolis-Marion County Public Library, and many of the books can be purchased at bookstores or even at our own Scholastic Book Fair. So, enjoy your reading. We'll look forward to seeing you at the voting party and at the end of the year party as well. Don't forget to write on the blog. We'll show you more about that later.